On se retrouve encore et toujours dans Vampyr. Hop, je remets mon micro. Voilà. Alors... c'est là qu'on peut entrer dans la baraque.
Hello, Venus.
Hello, Jonathan. I remember when Mary came here with her husband.
On va essayer de faire cette enquête. Qui lui veut des bouquins. Parce qu'en jouant tout seul, j'ai remarqué un petit truc derrière. En retard, mais c'est ouvert depuis cette maison aussi. Ah. Voilà, c'est bien ce que je pensais.
No invitation is needed to enter this building. That can't be a good sign. No sign of a struggle. It seems Charlotte's friend knew the killer and let him in.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Emily wanted to become a vampire. Something must have gone wrong. Someone is responsible for this mess. But who?
Ça, c'est une bonne question. Qui? Ouais, il y a un petit peu des traces de sang ici.
Blood. I should follow the trail.
Ok. Normalement, ils sont nuls. Ouais, voilà. C'est qui, lui?
Who are you? What are you doing here?
I could ask you the same question.
I'm the Marquis de Bois-Colombes, and I strongly invite you to find your own game, sir.
I appreciate the
Oh, un
invitation,
français.
but I'm here to solve the mystery concerning the death of a young woman killed by a vampire.
A young woman killed by a vampire? Oh, you're joking, right? Oh, I do love the British sense of humor.
Ouais, c'est bien en
What are
français.
you doing here?
I recently decided to visit London. I've always dreamed of visiting a city on the verge of collapse. Such a delicate yet intense spectacle.
You take pleasure from others' misery.
I have been a totally depraved and immoral creature since the day I was reborn, sir. And probably before.
What do you plan to do here?
Take pleasure. Take pictures. Enjoy the show. Have fun. Believe me, I won't be the only foreign immortal who bought a ticket to the fair.
Il est marrant, lui, comme vampire.
And who exactly are you?
I am Jacques-Michel Guillaume Florimond de Marquis de Bois-Colombes, at your service, my dear cousin.
Marquis de Bois-Colombes.
You're French, but your English is quite good.
I was born in France, sir, but I consider myself a traveler of this world. So many countries, so many tantalizing tastes.
Dear cousin, are we related?
We could be of the same blood, my dear. I tend to consider all Econs as family, don't you?
I followed the trail of blood from her room to here.
Oh, you're referring to that young woman. Yes, the meeting turned messy. I'm afraid I ruined my last redingote.
So you admit you murdered her?
I admit nothing, my good sir. I only regret the blood of that girl staining my clothes. Oh, blood can be so messy.
What happened?
She wanted to become one of us. Not the first time I have received such a proposal, but I must admit her direct approach tempted me.
And then what?
Her body rejected my blood. It happens, you know, sometimes even with voluntary prey. At least her gurglings brought me some fun, until the artery burst.
Il a l'air assez fou pour dire la vérité que c'est pas de sa faute. En plus, il est français, alors on
I
va le croire.
believe you, sir. Emily's diary confirms your statement.
Oh, Emily was her name. Quite charming. Well, mystery solved then.
Yes, I suppose so. You can go.
And so can you. Farewell, sir. May you enjoy the spectacle of this fallen city as much as I do.
C'est tout? Ok, faut que j'aille retrouver l'autre. Alors, elle est où?
Good evening, Miss Ashbury.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reed.
I have found out what happened to your friend, Emily.
I can handle the truth. There's no need to hide the bloody details.
Your friend was planning to become a vampire. She thought she'd met an honest one and made a deal with him. Unfortunately, Emily did not survive the process.
My mother told me many times about the risks of being turned. I often suspected she exaggerated the danger to avoid me being tempted.
No, the risk is real. Have you any idea what a body has to endure? To become an organism entirely consumed by its need to process and recombine blood.
I should never have talked to Emily about vampires. I never thought she'd
Ouais, c'est
actually
ta faute.
try without me. Thank you, sir. Here, take this for your discretion.
Goodbye, Charlotte. Give my best regards to your mother when you see her.
She's been quite busy these last few nights.
Ok. Alors, c'est ça que je veux voir. 35 assommés, 10-30. Ah bah... Y'a pas de feinte, on va prendre celui de Charlotte. Hein. Il peut aller jusqu'où, lui? « 38... » Ok, 38, 10, 31, 5. Et celui-là, il est déjà au max? Ah ouais, mais je peux ajouter ça. Si je choisis cette quête, est-ce que ça apparaît quelque part ici? Non. Ok. Et si je choisis celle-là? Yes. Elle est où ma maison? Attends, c'est nickel ça. Trois, 9, 6, 23. Ok, nickel. J'ai pas de phosphore blanc. Pour entrer dedans au moins dans le parc? Ah oui. Mais viens là. Haha, t'as eu, hein? Tu m'avais saoulé, toi. Non, mais oh. Bon. Allez, vas-y, repars. Ah, c'est donc ici la limite. Allez, recule. C'est un peu facile de les glitcher en fait. Et voilà. Merci messieurs dames pour ce glitch facile. Bon, je suppose que je dois trouver un truc quelque part dans le parc. Ah, c'est quoi ça? Et voilà. Bon, c'était assez facile en vrai. Hein. Mais il cachait quoi lui? Ouais, je pense qu'on devra revenir ici plus tard. Et là, ici, il y a quoi? There.
This is despicable. There has been a fight here. I can see a blood trail. Left by one of the antagonists, perhaps?
Hein?
What a mess. Something terrible happened here. But what?
C'est quoi cet endroit? Je comprends pas trop là. Ah, cool. Ah, il me manque des ingrédients, merde. J'ai toujours pas trop compris ce que je foutais ici. Ah, peut-être que je dois suivre la piste. Ah mais elle est carrément de l'autre côté en fait. Ouais bon. On va continuer de chercher le truc de mon père quand même. Oula. Facile à avoir. Ah. C'est quoi ça? Ah merde, à chaque fois j'oublie ça. Non, c'est pas ça. De l'autre côté, par là-bas, il y a quoi? Mhm. Ok, ça c'est l'entrée. Ah non, moi je suis rentré par là, là il y a une autre entrée. Ah bah c'est de là d'où je viens en fait. Ah, là il y a un petit passage. Non, je l'ai raté. Là. Y a rien ici? Ah, stylé. Ok, blablabla. C'est une lettre banale d'un père à un fils en fait.
I had almost forgotten I applied for a position at Pembroke. It was so long ago.
Ok, à un moment faudra retourner à l'hôpital du coup. Bon, maintenant on va faire ce truc là. Hein. Un truc pour passer ici?
I cannot enter. Bah, il a bien explosé lui. Voilà, ça c'est réglé. Ah, faut plutôt passer par au-dessus en fait. Ouais. Ouais, tiens, prends ça. Ouais, il est là, lui. Qu'est-ce que tu me voulais, toi? Merde, moi j'ai quand même vu le sang de l'autre côté du coup. Putain, mais comment c'est possible en fait?
Look at it! Vicious fuck human! Kill it! Murdering bastard!
Et voilà. Putain, il y en a encore.
Don't come closer, sir. Steady, boys. We've got one of them here. No! That's what you do with leeches.
Voilà. Putain, mais elle est passée par où? Ah, par là peut-être.
It's locked, all right.
Pourquoi parfois je vois...
I
Ah,
cannot enter.
putain, mais comment grimper là-haut? Ah, si c'est son corps qui est là, faut que j'aille là-bas en fait. Bon, tant pis. J'ai pas dû déjà déverrouiller la quête. Bah, du coup, on va reprendre celle-là. Hein. Hop, on va passer par là.
Support the equality between men and women.
Ah, je peux aller voir Lady Ashbury du coup. Elle est où? Ah là.
Good evening, Jonathan. How are you?
I'm still investigating from inside the Ascalon Club. Can we talk?
Of course, my dear.
How is your
I have decided to explore beyond the dictates of reason.
What do you mean?
You may on occasion find this house closed when you visit me. If so, it is because I have gone undercover. Sort of.
Mm.
Who are you going to surveil? I hope you're not considering spying on McCullum or the guard of Prewan.
No. I intend to ask a few questions in parts of town I rarely venture into. Dirty places where a delicate lady like myself should never be seen.
When will you return?
As soon as possible. And I don't intend to stay away for long.
Bon, elle est assez forte pour rester en vie.
There are many paintings adorning the walls here.
Yes?
Did you paint them?
No, my dear. But some of them. I have had a long time to learn from the best. I'm currently working on what could be my greatest masterpiece.
What is this masterpiece?
Your portrait, my dear Jonathan. It will be my gift to you, if I ever have time to finish it.
C'est gentil ça.
Have you met any famous painters?
Are you trying to divine my age by cross-checking historical dates, my dear? That's a devious parlor trick.
Well, Elizabeth, I tried my best. Don't I deserve some reward at least?
Well, if you must know, I even posed for the greats. Now that you know it, you may recognize me when visiting museums.
I have investigated new sources of infection, and I may have found a new type of scowl. One suffering from heavy mutations that is extremely contagious.
Scowls come in various forms, you know. They are simply degenerate versions of their makers.
I believe these families are different, and I'm currently pursuing a lead. I know I can find the true source of contagion by finding who created these creatures.
That would be great news. Be very careful, my dear, when dealing with such creatures.
Mais oui,
Goodbye,
t'inquiète.
my dear.
Goodbye.
Bon, pour ma part, je reviens tout de suite. Hop, Alors. Ah oui, c'était le seul lien entre les différentes familles. Bon, on peut laisser tranquille. Il ira les attaquer après. C'est pas tranquille, t'es qu'un petit déconne. T'es un bébé, toi.
It's locked, all right.
Ok, il faut aller par là. Et voilà. Marqué quoi ici? Ok, je sais où aller du coup. C'était pas vraiment ici. Ah. par là, il y a un truc. Non. Ok, donc là pas trop le choix. Merde. Et voilà. Par là peut-être.
I cannot enter.
C'est pas très bien fait ça. Michou. Ah.
It's locked.
Ah, ici non plus, je peux pas passer. Ah, voilà.
There's an open window on the second floor. I should be able to get in through that.
Voilà. Ah. Intéressant.
Woe to you, nations of hypocrites. For in front of you stands the tall queen. You can but learn.
Can that be Doris Fletcher's voice?
Bah, le jeu. À la vilaine. Voilà. Je vais quand même aller voir dans le... Ouais, ici on n'avait rien trouvé, ouais. Et ici on pouvait ouvrir... Ah non, ça... Ok. Ah. Ok, elle est là.
Adore me again when they share my Ok. Apparemment c'était une salope comme sa mère. Putain, j'aime pas quand ils font ça, eux. Voilà. Ça reste longtemps cette merde en plus. They adore me again when they share my fate.
Ok, elle est là en train de jouer.
Raised through hate.
Et moi je peux descendre par cet endroit-là.
I have this thirst for blood. I cannot enter.
Ah, je peux descendre par là aussi. Ouais, ok. Là c'était l'entrée. De toute façon, on ressortira par là. Hein.
It's locked.
Allez, on est VIP, nous.
Who are you? You who dared enter my realm. Are you here to worship or mock me?
I'm here to put an end to the vampire epidemic, Miss Fletcher.
Ah. But Doris Fletcher is no more. She was consumed by this putrid flesh that now enshrouds her.
You feel anger for what happened to you, but I can help you. I'm a doctor, Miss Fletcher.
Doris Fletcher is no more. All that remains are the dreams of the queen she was, and the queen she'll be. Until then, all shall die, for that was her final wish. Woe, come to me, my servants! Avenge me! Touché, sir. On guard. I smell your fear. Your hand is shaking. I summon thee, my children. My blade shall pierce your villainous heart, dark. Touché, sir. I smell your fear. Your hand is shaking. Behold, Kinslayer, the disgrace of she.
Oula.
Will she be the queen again once they all share her fate? You killed my father.
On va changer ça. On va reprendre ça. Voilà.
Wait. I beg you, wait.
What?
I don't want to die.
And I did not come to kill you, Miss Fletcher.
Will you spare me then? save this cadaverous carcass of mine. Does your heart beat a little faster now? You fancy me then, Doctor?
No,
Ouais, quand même pas.
Fletcher. My dead heart will beat for only one.
Ah! Is she pretty? Is she sweet and tender?
To me, yes.
Ah! I hate her already.
I know. And this is partly why you must be destroyed.
Fait mieux de choisir Ashbury. Hein.
That I did not come here to kill you, yes. But I realize now the threat you embody must be stopped.
Will I be remembered? Will you?
You were Doris Fletcher, the greatest actress of her generation. No one can take that from you.
Thank you. And farewell. Ah! Ah! Ah!
Farewell, Doris.
Attends, c'était un peu chaud quand il y avait tous les scales là.
Bravo! So dramatic. I love it.
McCullum!
How strange I seem to find you whenever I'm inquiring about that Skal infestation.
I mean you no harm.
I'm not here for you. But once I've put all the pieces of the puzzle together, I'm sure we'll have a little chat, you and me.
Stay away from me, McCullum. You and all your war dogs.
That I can't guarantee, Dr. Reed. But I'll let you go. For now.
I should probably leave the theater right now. The West End should be safe now. But London is not. It would be wise to benefit from the Ascalon's protection while I continue my research during the Great Hunt.
Ok.
These people want me dead. I need to leave now. So Doris just needed to be close to her audience to infect them. Contagion through skin. Very disturbing.
Ok. Fais voir, il est comment son sabre quand même? 140, 10, 20. Augustin est à 210 lui. Et l'acier à combien? À 200, ouais. Sachant que lui... Je pense qu'on va les créer lui. Hein. Enfin, on verra plus tard. Désolé. Voilà. Mais là, c'est lequel le plus fort? « 130 et lui, 140.
Support the equality between men and women. Women's right to vote is only the first step.
Qu'est-ce qu'elle fait là, elle?
Elizabeth, what are you doing here?
I've been formally asked to witness your triumph, my dear. After all, isn't it the natural role of a woman to support her man in victory?
But it's you who insisted I join the Ascalon.
Please forgive my giddiness. I'm just overcome by the thrill of finally being allowed within these hallowed halls.
You certainly have an inquisitive mind. It's quite something. Elizabeth Ashbury, only you can make me smile in these difficult times.
And the same to you, Jonathan Reed. Now go have your little chat with the chairman. I can see he's practically bursting to hear your report.
I have a boat ready to go whenever I want. These hunters won't catch me.
Hop là.
We repel the intruders for now. But how long before they return?
Welcome back to the Ascalon Club, Lancebearer. Please tell us the good news. Have you put an end to the epidemic?
My hypothesis was correct. Doris Fletcher was the source of the contagion in this part of town. She was probably the first to be infected.
And you cleansed her before the hunters, I've been told. Well done, Dr. Reed. You thrust your lance and pierced the very heart of the corruption.
I'm just a doctor.
The important thing is, we won a major battle for the survival of London. For that, we salute you.
Thank you, my lord.
Now, I have another task for you.
Encore?
One of the utmost importance. Perhaps even more so than the previous.
I'm listening.
It's time for you to perform a most sacred duty for the club. I want you to recruit a new vampire.
Recruit a new vampire? Are you sending me on some sort of diplomatic mission?
Not exactly. I want you to make Aloysius Dawson the Ekon he deserves to be.
veut dire qu'on n'est
I'm
pas
not sure
sûr.
I'm the best candidate for such a task.
I can hear the hesitation in your voice, Dr. Reed. I admire a man of principles. But in this matter, there is more at stake than your moral comfort.
It's not a moral question, Lord Redgrave. It's the responsibility of giving immortality to a man I barely know.
Nonsense. Aloysius has been a member of the Ascalon for years. This is but the fruition of a long-held plan.
How would you like me to proceed?
Aloysius is waiting for you at the Dawson estate. Once the deed is done, I'll join you there to celebrate this momentous occasion.
Before I go, I have a few questions.
All right, I'm listening.
How would
C'est
you
bon à
like to
savoir ça.
proceed?
Don't worry. Aloysius has had many years to prepare himself. He has studied our kind for decades.
So shall I just let him drink my blood?
Yes. Aloysius will gratefully sup on your blood. His heart will slow, then stop. But he will rise again as one of us, an immortal.
Is there any danger?
Our blood alters a mortal body so deeply that some don't survive the metamorphosis. They die for good. But Mr. Dawson has been preparing himself for a long time.
Why Aloysius Dawson?
Because he is about to die. And he just may be the most influential man in England. After me, of course.
Did he choose me?
No, I did. My decision is very recent, to say the least, but it is entirely mine.
Ok.
Does he know I'm coming?
He can't wait to become your progeny, Dr. Reed. Especially now that you have shown how strong your lineage is through your sister.
You invited Lady Ashbury. Wouldn't that be breaking one of your cardinal rules? No women allowed.
Not allowed as members, no. But considering the circumstances, I thought you'd like to have her here to witness your triumph.
So it's a temporary admittance.
Something of a bargain, considering the crisis we're currently facing.
Goodbye, look.
Je peux pas discuter avec d'autres... Oh bah ils sont tous cassés quoi.
Are you all right, Jonathan?
Lord Redgrave has just ordered me to turn Aloysius Dawson. To make him my progeny.
I see. And how do you feel about this?
Ouais, on va lui
I'd
dire
like
ça.
your advice on the matter.
The real question here is, why has his lordship given you this task?
Do you think it's some sort of trap?
Do you really want to know what I think about this?
I do, yes.
To make an immortal of a soulless blackguard like Aloysius Dawson will only lead to a disaster for London. The man is already dead inside.
Should I refuse? Perhaps politely suggest that Lord Redgrave turn the man into a vampire himself.
Don't you dare, my dear. According to what I've recently discovered, his lordship could kill you for even broaching the subject.
Really? Why?
I've recently found proof that the Earl of Bristol is of lesser lineage and only capable of creating skulls.
Hein?
Please tell me more about your recent investigation.
As long as you lower your voice.
Are you sure your information about Redgrave is correct? He says he's the progeny of the great knight William Marshall, who lived some 9 centuries ago.
That's a lie. Lord Redgrave is unable to create anything
Oui,
but
tu viens de me le
skulls,
dire.
if the poor souls survive at all.
How can you be sure the information was correct?
I made the acquaintance of a most interesting informer while investigating your maker, from whom I learned the truth about Lord Redgrave.
Why so vindictive? You suddenly sound like you're angry.
Forgive me, Jonathan, I hate myself for it, but I feel such pride in my discovery. I'm afraid I just can't help it.
Which is?
He did serve William Marshall. And yes, the blood he covets as a token does truly belong to that legendary knight. But he was never his progeny. His lineage is not so noble.
What would you have me do about Dawson?
The man is dangerous. Did you know he plans to build a wall to separate the healthy rich from the sickly poor? Do not make him your progeny.
What would you do?
The man's dying already. Let the Reaper harvest the rotten fruit that is his soul.
What would happen if I made Dawson an Ekon like myself?
You would add a powerful immortal into a suffering world. An immortal who already craves authority.
Maybe I could teach him control, like you taught me. Lead him down the right path.
Mr. Dawson spent his life searching for a way to cheat death. I'm sure he has spent decades dreaming of how he'd spend eternity as a tyrant.
Je te crois, je te crois.
Goodbye for now, Elizabeth.
Goodbye, my dear. Please, be careful.
It looks like vampires have to obey Mendel's laws when producing progeny. Powers pass from one generation to another. That's why Dawson wants me to sire him.
Il est malin. Bon, déjà, on va revenir ici. Salut maman. Qu'est-ce que je voulais faire ici? Ça c'est fait. Ouais. Les dégâts de ce truc. Non. Oui, ça. Bah voilà, cool tout ça. Ah si. C'est ça que je peux améliorer par contre. Attends, c'est où? Voilà. Et ici, à place de toi et de tes 132 dégâts, je vais mettre ça. Je vais essayer de retrouver ce que j'ai trouvé tout à l'heure, là, l'espèce de petit passage. Ah merde, j'avais oublié ça. Là-bas où il y a les œufs normalement. Et voilà. Ouais, c'était là alors.
I think this passage could lead me close to Aloysius Dawson's mansion.
Don't you know?
Ouais, un petit rat.
This is despicable.
En plus, je sais quoi ces traces de sang chelou là qu'il y a pour certains endroits. C'est qui est lui? Putain, j'avoue qu'il donne de bonnes baffes lui. Ok. Si je l'attaque assez vite, il peut pas répliquer en fait. Ah, il est chiant avec ça, lui.
Show
Voilà. Ok. Ah. Ça veut dire que faut l'énerver. Puis là, il perd son sang-froid et il fait n'importe quoi. Les véhicules, je parle. Comme celui que je viens de tuer. Ouais. Bon bah un bon petit combat. Ah, c'était peut-être par les égouts en fait. Hein? Blablabla.
Louise's father was determined to find and save her.
Moi, je veux bien, mais c'est où son truc? Par là peut-être?
It's locked, all right.
Ok. Je sais même pas comment j'ai fait ça, moi.
I cannot enter.
Il faut aller plus loin. Bah voilà. Putain, allez vous faire foutre. Tu viens là. Putain. Ah putain, ils étaient chelous. Bon, ok. Ok, encore un peu. Mhm. Ah, il y a une Louise là.
I can't believe I'm doing this.
Oula, elle est vénère, Louise.
You London vampires are so weak!
Qu'est-ce qu'il fait, lui? Il a été coincé là. Il était le pissou. Bon, allez, viens là, toi. Bah, elle aurait pu manger des humains.
Are you all right?
How do you know my name? Who are you?
My name is Dr. Reed. I managed to track you down thanks to your father.
So my father really was looking after me. This man, this vampire told me my father was dead. Is it true?
I'm afraid so, miss. I'm so sorry for your loss. But you are free to go, as your abductor is no more.
I suppose my jailer also killed my father, didn't he?
Thankfully, he did not search your father's corpse, where I found his notes describing where he might find you. You should read them.
I must find my father's body. He deserves a proper burial.
Goodbye, Miss Teasdale. And be careful. Until we meet again.
Hop là. C'est où ça, la hache commune? Ah, c'est là. Bon, c'est pas tout, mais il faudrait que je trouve la sortie, moi. Ah. Ok, on est arrivé ici alors.
Good evening, Miss Price. How are you tonight?
Dr. Reed, I didn't know you had returned from the war. I had a new doctor when you left, but he's not as kind as you.
Always glad to see a former patient in good condition. It's been a long time.
Too long indeed. And as a token of my appreciation, I'll grant you the best price if you fancy buying anything from my humble shop.
Je reviens. Ouais.
What can you tell me about yourself, Miss Price?
I'm still managing my shop. The only difference is, since the quarantine, we're open at night. On the contrary, seem to have changed a lot.
Oui, ouais, pas qu'un peu.
Really?
Regardez-moi cette
Have I
tête.
changed that much?
On peut pas le
It
voir.
must have been the war and the night shifts since my return.
Don't get me wrong, Dr. Reed, you're still handsome. Just maybe a little bit wiser, more serious. It suits you well.
Tell me more about yourself. No new fiancé? I remember you were hoping to get remarried. I'm sure you must have a few suitors.
Who would marry an old bat like myself with a grown daughter and a little business? As you know, I only fancy handsome men like yourself.
Have you noticed anything in particular in this part of town recently?
Other than you coming back to cheer me up? Nothing at all, Dr. Reed.
Does your daughter still worry you, Miss Price? I remember you were often concerned about her health when she was younger.
Have you not seen Carol since you returned? She's almost a young woman now. But she'll always remain my sweet.
So you're less afraid?
Some things never change. Carol is still too clumsy for her own good. Sometimes her innocence puts her in real danger.
Why would her innocence put her in danger?
She does not realize how cruel life can be. Maybe I was a bad mother to protect her too much. My poor dear Carol.
You have every reason to be cautious, Miss Price. Especially in these difficult times.
Maybe you could talk with her, Dr. Reed. It would be nice to have a man here more often. We would both feel safer.
On verra, j'ai déjà quelqu'un.
May I look at your...
It's always a pleasure to have you.
C'est bien les arriver ça.
Doctor,
Good evening.
you know...
Voilà.
Do you know Aloysius Dawson?
Everybody knows him. He's only been to my shop once, though, looking for rare books and other intriguing antiques.
Did he buy something from you?
No, he left quickly. He almost laughed at my goods. Mr. Dawson may be a rich man, but you can't buy good manners.
But isn't Aloysius Dawson known for his philanthropy?
That was before his brother Robert died in an aeroplane crash. Since then, the remaining twin has turned into a heartless tycoon.
Goodbye for now, Miss Price.
I hope you can stay a little longer this time.
avait pas un mec ici avant? Ah si, il est là-haut.
Good evening, sir. I am Dr. Jonathan Reed. Do you need my help?
Yes, please. Would you be kind enough to tell me what the time is?
That's all you need to know.
Well, is it not important to know? As important as where you are? Or who you are?
I suppose you're right. And who are you then, sir?
I am Agamemnon Baker. Like my brother, I think we need to leave this city immediately. And my brother and I rarely agree on anything.
May I ask why you've not gone already, if you're so exasperated by this long wait?
I believe fear is holding us back. My brother would have said it's laziness, but it's just because he's prouder than I am.
Il a dit quoi après?
I believe fear is holding us back.
Ok.
May I ask what you're doing outside at this hour of night?
I don't know. You should ask my brother instead. It was his idea in the first place.
You must have your own ideas.
From what I have managed to understand, I guess we're supposed to wait here. Waiting for someone to come.
Mm-hmm.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
It's the only place I've considered myself happy. Or at least that's what I believe. Unfortunately, it's time to leave.
Why is that?
Because I'm not feeling happy here anymore. Are you?
Bah non, pas trop là.
No, I'm not.
Good for you. It's a good thing to have a clear idea of where you stand concerning crucial questions. Don't you think?
What can you tell me about your brother?
He's older than me, I think. But the important thing is that I really hope I'll die before him. Grief would just kill me, you know?
Is that all?
Pericles is very attached to this city, and without my insistence, he would never leave this place. We don't often agree on anything, you see.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you waiting for, exactly?
The more I think about it, the more I believe it's not exactly a person we are waiting for.
But what else could it be, then?
I don't know. A feeling? An event? An impulse? How can I tell? Something that would allow us to leave this trap.
I'm afraid I'm not following you. What kind of trap are you talking about?
Have you ever felt like life trapped you in a role that does not fit you? That you are not in your place? That sort of trap.
Trap? And you think leaving London will free you?
At least it will give us the chance to be free. That's more than our present situation. Hope, Doctor. Hope is what truly drives mankind.
Ok.
What can you tell me about Aloysius Dawson?
You should ask that question to my brother instead. Personally, I've not seen Aloysius for many years.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Baker.
Ok, il y a son frère là.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I be of assistance?
Dr. Reed? Dr. Reed?
Is there anything wrong?
No, it's just...
Il se ressemble.
Your name sounds familiar. And your face. Have we met before?
I think I would remember. So I suppose the answer is no.
That's odd. I'm certain I've already heard of you. My name is Pericles Baker. Does that mean anything to you?
I'm afraid not, sir. But it's a pleasure to meet you anyway.
The pleasure is mine, I guess. I only wish I could remember when it was that we met.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Baker. What are you doing out here in the middle of the night?
We are waiting. Waiting for someone.
And why are you waiting for this person?
Because we need to leave this city. As soon as possible.
Why do you want to leave the city?
I'm not really sure.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me anything about this district?
As you like asking questions so much, would you allow me to ask you one first?
Please, be my guest.
Do you like this city?
I don't know. I was born and raised in London, but I feel like a stranger here recently.
You didn't answer my question, sir. But I don't blame you. Perhaps it's better that way.
And what do you do, sir? For a living, that is.
I stopped working when I decided to leave. When I realized what I wanted. Wanted something this city can't provide.
Okay.
But what were you doing before you took this decision?
Does it really matter anymore? Considering the past seems so pointless to me. I have lived in this city all my life. And now I think it's over.
Tell me more about why you want to leave London, then.
I just don't belong here anymore. I had to convince my brother to leave London because I know we need to find another life out of the city.
Huh?
Pericles, tell me why your brother disagrees with your presence here.
Agamemnon is naive sometimes. Although don't consider him a fool, sir. He is often more lucid than me.
At least you both have the same difficulty explaining what you're doing, and for what reason.
But is that not a common problem for all mortals?
What can you tell me about your brother?
If you are searching for a pleasant chat, you should speak with him instead of wasting your time with me. He's always been the more gentle of us.
That's it? That's all you can tell me about him?
For the time being, true kindness is the most valuable quality, my good sir.
Who are you waiting for? I'm sure he has a name.
I really can't answer that question, since I don't know that person.
And why is that?
This person is mostly my brother's acquaintance. I don't even know his real name. Only that this man could help us leave this city once and for all.
But why would you need this person's help to leave London anyway?
Well, I thought we should have left this cursed place already, but my brother convinced me to stay a while longer, and here we are.
What can you tell me about Aloysius Dawson?
I've heard this is a man who has searched for his place in the world for a long time. I hope he found it.
Goodbye, Mr. Baker.
Hello,
Goodbye for now, Mr. Baker.
Good evening, sir. May I ask you what you're doing here at this late hour?
I'm conducting an investigation about the epidemic in this part of town.
And who are you, sir?
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed from the Pembroke Hospital. May I ask who you are and why all the questions?
I'm Detective Inspector Charles Albright from Scotland Yard. And I don't find your answers convincing. What is a Pembroke doctor doing in the West End at this time of night?
I'm here on my own, sir. I have no official appointment other than my desire to save lives.
Then we have the same objective, sir. The difference is, to catch my suspects, I use a magnifying glass and handcuffs instead of a microscope.
Why are you investigating at night?
Criminals rarely act in daylight, you know. But since you are also a night worker, have you noticed anything strange which requires police attention?
I'd like to report a name, Inspector. Geoffrey McCullum. I'm afraid he's some sort of vigilante, trying to recruit an army of angry citizens.
Then I'll write the name down and transmit this intelligence to the appropriate office. Thank you, sir.
What can you tell me about this district?
I'm the one asking questions, especially when there's a killer on the loose.
What killer?
I'm not going to discuss that with the civilians, sir.
Haven't I told you about the investigation I'm conducting? Perhaps I could help you.
All right, without giving you too much information, I'll tell you this. I'm convinced there is a homicidal maniac on the loose, using the epidemic to disguise his kills.
And what about the epidemic?
We both know the situation is critical, don't we, Doctor? Colleagues of mine die almost every day.
What are you really doing here?
I told you. I'm a detective inspector from Scotland Yard, investigating suspicious cases in the area.
Do you work alone?
Yes. The situation is difficult for the police. Many of us are sick, and since the summer strike, most men apply a work to rule on their patrols.
What about the situation in the East End? Why are there no police there to protect the civilians?
I know, it's a shame, but we just don't have enough men to cover the entire city.
Tell me all you know about that homicidal maniac you're looking for.
I'm not even sure there is only one. The wounds are always the same, but the modus operandi varies. Sometimes violent and brutal, sometimes precise and swift.
How could different killers inflict the same wounds?
That's my main problem. If my theory is correct, maybe we're facing a group of individuals sharing the same violent tendencies. Perhaps a sadist cult.
What are you investigating, exactly?
I currently have a few missing persons cases. Mr. Tadao Kimura and Miss Louise Teasdale. I'm afraid they may have been abducted by my mysterious maniac.
Tell me about Louise Teasdale.
She's a waitress. Her father reported her missing. We don't have enough men to search for her, sadly.
Do you have any idea where she could be?
No. But I feel she's been abducted. She went to a pub a few nights ago and vanished. I thought about the sewers, but I'm not equipped for such an investigation.
Tell me...
She's a waitress.
Do you have any idea?
No. But I think...
Tell me about Mr. Kimura.
Mr. Kimura is a businessman who has been missing for a few days. He didn't go home, didn't go to work, didn't go back to his family.
Where was he last seen?
Mr. Kimura was last seen at the Royal Observatory in Greenwich. I followed a possible lead in the West End, but I found nothing.
Do you know anything in particular about a man called Aloysius Dawson?
Who doesn't know the man? I think he intervened personally to put an end to the police strike of last August.
What else can you tell me about him?
Aloysius Dawson is exactly the kind of powerful and influential man who could commit murder and get away with it, with just one phone call.
Goodbye, Detective Inspector Albright.
Goodbye, Dr. Jonathan Reed. What has happened to the London that I knew?
again. What are the cards trying to tell us? Jonathan Reed. At last we meet. The cards warned me you would visit tonight.
I beg your pardon, sir. Do I know you?
Of course you do. Our mutual friend, Dr. Swansea, can't speak highly enough of you. My name is Usher. Usher Talltree.
You are the leader of the Brotherhood, are you not?
Primate of the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole, to be precise. I'm really glad we met tonight. I love it when the cards tell me a truth.
The cards told you to expect me?
Yes, they tell me everything. They told me that you struggle hard not to take too many lives.
Can you read the cards for me?
Are you sure you want to know what they will reveal?
Yes, I am.
It will cost you 150 shillings.
Here is the money.
The alchemist. A wise and cunning mind who lives by lying to all but himself. He sells false promises and is proud of it.
Can you read?
Put the money on the table then.
Here.
The sorceress. A heart-shaped trap built.
What can you tell me about the neighborhood?
I really don't know. I don't often go outside. And when I do, it's usually to quite distant destinations.
So you see nothing in the stars for me? You're a poor fortune teller then?
Oh, I can tell you many things. But they will only concern you, not the city. For example, I know that you offered your sister the final rest she asked for.
Do the cards speak of my Mary?
No. It's the burning aura of guilt that precedes you everywhere you go.
Read my fortune.
You have been chosen, Jonathan. I see on you the mark of a strong being, so powerful it needn't even reveal its strength.
Tell me about yourself. What do you do here, besides turning cards in the middle of the night?
I'm for most a charlatan. For a few, I'm a vampire. And for you, I'm the primate of St. Paul's Stole.
Some believe you to be a vampire. Who?
The Guard of Priwen, who else? For a time, they sent spies to observe my activities. And they even broke into my home to gather proof.
Did they steal anything from you?
A personal notebook they quickly took to their headquarters. All they had to do is to look at me. I'm aging. What better and definite proof that I'm not an immortal?
Do you want your notebook back?
If you ever find it, I'd be glad to have it back, of course. I do ask one thing, though. Do not read it, Jonathan. Some secrets are not meant to be revealed. Even to immortals.
For how long have you been a primate?
It was 15 years last year.
What do you make of Dr. Swansea?
Edgar is a brilliant and dedicated man. A man of his time. Sometimes a little muddled, but always looking for new paths and new concepts.
How do you measure the amount of blood on my hands?
I told you. The cards always tell the truth. Well, most of the time.
Is it possible to tell me my future?
A vampire's fate is much more delicate to read, Doctor. But I can try.
All right. Let me hear it.
The walls of your prison have already been raised, Jonathan. But you will freely accept to be locked inside, full of hope for a better day.
I would rather not know. How did you learn about Mary? And spare me the hocus-pocus parlor tricks. The truth, now!
Swansea told me. Don't look at me like that. His task is to observe and gather information about vampires. He had to tell me about Mary.
Mary did not deserve her fate. She had already suffered enough during her life. And yet the pain and the suffering went on after her death.
Suffering is part of the immortal condition. Some prefer to lose their minds rather than face the simple truth. Pain will never stop.
May I ask you about the Brotherhood?
Of course. But I must warn you that there are some subjects we consider taboo, in spite of our fondness and acceptance of your kind.
I know there is no love lost between the Guard of Priwen and the Brotherhood. What caused this rift?
It was 1801. The Brotherhood was stronger then, a strength that made them hungry for ever greater power. An argument divided them, and the wound never healed.
What was the nature of the disagreement?
The problem was that both sides considered themselves the legitimate heirs of the original Brotherhood. We divide up the books, the relics, not always fairly or with consideration.
Who founded the Brotherhood?
That's precisely the kind of question I cannot answer. It is delicate, and may reveal some of our secret traditions.
So you're not just a club of academics and scholars?
Once upon a time, very long ago, the Brotherhood did more than simply study the vampires. They took actions to eliminate the more ferocious and corrupted.
Goodbye, sir. Until we meet again.
I rarely wander, yet it amuses me to converse with your kind. Perhaps London will survive the epidemic, but I see terrible trials awaiting in the future.
It's locked, all right. Good evening.
You know...
Tell me, Carolyn, do you often wound or hurt your daughter by mistake?
No. I always thought it was Carol's clumsiness that caused these incidents. Maybe it's a family trait, Doctor.
You really believe it's just bad luck and being clumsy, then?
Of course, Doctor. What else could it be? I have nothing to hide.
Goodbye for...
I hope you can stay a little longer this time.
Good evening, Miss Price. I'm Dr. Reed. Do you remember me?
Dr. Reed? Yes, of course. You are the doctor who healed me and my mum. Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Good to see you too, Carol. Are you all right?
Oh, yes. I did not hurt myself recently. I know how to take care of myself now. I'm almost a grown-up.
Why are you awake at night, Carol?
I am helping my mother in her shop. It's not easy, but I'm a grown-up now.
I'm sure your mother is grateful for your help.
I do the best I can. But I'm so clumsy sometimes. I drop things. I injure myself. It's a good thing my mother has the patience of an angel.
Why is work not easy? Is something or someone bothering you?
Oh no, most people are gentle with me. But I'm so nervous sometimes. I pay no attention and hurt myself. Good thing my mum learned first aid.
What can you tell me of the people living nearby?
I don't speak to many people, except our customers. It's not easy to make friends. And with the epidemic, it's even more difficult.
What can you tell me about the epidemic?
Some of our regular customers have left London. Some others only send their housemaids now. Everybody fears the contagion. I've even seen men with weapons.
Have you no friends at all?
No. Mr. Nithercote used to pass by and was always nice to me.
Does he not come by anymore?
No. Mum said he was weird. Always reciting poetry about a girl he'd met in Whitechapel. I wonder who this camellia may be.
Do you enjoy working with your mother?
Oh yes, Doctor. My mother raised me alone after my father died. We've always lived together, and she has always watched over me.
Do you remember your father?
No, I was just a baby then. My mother always told me how strong and good he was.
Do you ever think about getting married, now you're a woman?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. Mum always says I'm still a child who has no idea how tough life can be. No husband would like a clumsy girl like me.
Is it true you often hurt yourself, Carol?
Yes, it's true. I try to behave, I really do. But one way or another, I always end up injured or wounded. I'm so stupid.
Why would you be stupid?
It's like I can't help getting under my mother's feet. That's how I end up being pushed, cut, or burned. You see, I'm a stupid girl, really.
When exactly do these accidents happen?
Ever since I was little. That's why I need to stay with Mum. I'm not capable of taking care of myself.
Have you ever met the famous Aloysius Dawson?
Yes. A very strange man. Not very nice.
What do you mean?
He said he was ready to pay good money for rare books, and then laughed at what we showed him.
Goodbye, Carol.
Good morning. Good evening.
Good evening.
You know...
You are responsible for your daughter's many injuries and scars, Carolyn. You brutalize her, don't you?
How could I abuse my own flesh and blood? This is nonsense. It would be like hurting myself.
You really believe you've done nothing wrong, don't you? How long has this been going on for? I should have seen it when you were my patient.
Seen what? Child abuse? Are you mad, Dr. Reed? I dedicated my whole life to my precious Carol. She is a part of me.
Yes. Even her name is just a part of yours. This is a terrible tragedy. Something of an unknown disorder. My God. Abuse that comes from overwhelming love.
I can't believe what I'm hearing. How dare you say something like that? What kind of a monster do you think I am?
Speak to me, Carolyn. Why do you behave like this? How does it make you feel to hurt Carol before cajoling her?
I don't know. It makes me feel good to take care of my daughter. I need to feel useful. No one ever takes care of me. I need someone to take care of me.
Do you realize Carol is a person? Not a toy, not a doll. The poor girl would put her hand in a flame to please you. You are both trapped in this toxic relationship.
Carol and I are perfectly happy. Leave us be. How stupid I was to believe you could be a suitable husband.
If no one stops you, you will kill her. You will keep on torturing her out of smothering love until she breaks or you hurt her too much.
How dare you? I carried Carol inside of me for 9 months. You men can't understand the bond between a mother and her child. I could kill for her.
Carol's gratitude is exemplary. She seems determined never to leave you.
I'm taking care of my daughter as well as I can. It's not always easy, but she's the best gift life gave me.
But she'll probably leave you someday to live her own life. Will that be difficult for you?
Why would she?
Faut croire, oui.
Children sometimes stay with their parents until the end, for they know no one else will love them as much.
Goodbye for now.
Elle est bien folle.
Dr. Reed, I am.
Bah, on vient de se parler, mais bon. On peut pas passer par là, non? Bah non. Moi je veux bien, mais il est où son manoir? Et lui, là, c'est pas un truc dessus?
Is there anything you could tell me about Aloysius Dawson?
Aloysius Dawson. Yes, of course. We met on several occasions. With time, he got deeper and deeper into the occult.
He's not the only one. It's been quite the fashion for several decades. The Golden Dawn, for instance, is just one example.
True. Aloysius was a member of the Golden Dawn until 1900. Then his thirst for dark knowledge grew. I'm talking forbidden texts, readings which blackened his heart.
Goodbye, sir. Until we meet again.
I read on the Empress again. What are the cards?
Ok, alors il est où son manoir? On doit retourner là-bas alors? C'est donc par les égouts qu'il faut le trouver. Ouais, je me rappelle de cet endroit, il y avait le gros fou là. Ah, là il y a un truc. Oh bah il y a rien en fait ici. Ok, on revient ici en fait. Ouais, mais j'aimerais bien trouver son manoir. Moi. Toujours rien ici.
I cannot enter.
Putain, mais j'en ai marre de tourner en rond. Là. Bon, je vais aller voir la solution parce que honnêtement j'ai pas trop d'idées là. Ok, j'ai compris. Son manoir, il est là en fait.
Spanish flu is not the only thing.
Ouais, je peux pas passer, moi.
I can't believe we are still waiting. I can't remember the moment.
Voilà, c'est là. Voilà. C'est pas un petit paquet, ça? Ah non. Ok, par là on peut pas passer.
Dawson's mansion. Here I am at last. But the question remains, am I ready to make a dying man my progeny?
Alors, il est où ce couillon? Ok, il est ici. Du coup, on va monter. Y'a rien sur son bureau?
It's locked, all right.
Ok, il est caché là, lui.
Finally, you're here, Dr. Reed. What took you so long?
I had to pass several of your barricades and outposts to access your mansion, sir.
Death, pestilence surround us, and time is against me.
I see you've gathered some of the most expensive, albeit experimental, blood transfusion equipment available. All this could be so useful in a hospital.
Yes, yes. Since Lord Redgrave sent me a doctor to perform my conversion, I thought you might find some of these devices useful.
Most thoughtful. But tonight I'm not here as a physician.
But I feel reassured that a specialist such as yourself would help me to escape the Reaper.
Very well. But before I proceed, I have a few questions for you.
If you must, but be quick, for I don't have much time left in this life.
First of all, I need to be sure that you know exactly what is going to happen to you, sir.
I can assure you I'm as informed as any man can be. I have planned for this moment, Dr. Reed. Planned very carefully.
Je reviens tout de suite. Hop, rebonjour.
I'm the only vampire in the room for now, so please indulge me.
All right, all right. What is it you wish to ask?
I will become your maker. Do you understand what that means?
I certainly won't consider you my liege, or some such drivel. You can be assured of that.
I will be...
Well, I certainly won't consider you my liege, or some such drivel. You can be assured of...
Okay.
You'll need to feed on warm blood. Blood from mortals. How do you feel about that?
I'm rich, Dr. Reed, and powerful. I'm sure I'll be able to acquire all the blood I need without ever having to sully my own hands.
What do you know about the Guard of Priwen?
What I do know is that I'll crush anyone or anything that would dare to oppose me.
Let's move on then.
Please, I'm cold and tired. I feel my life waning with every moment.
But first, before you embrace immortality, what would you do with such a gift?
That's a rather impertinent question, Dr. Reed. And I will do as I please.
Answer me all the same. What will your first action be as an immortal?
To save London. I will finance the most efficient quarantine ever seen. I will build a wall that will separate the sick boroughs from the healthy ones.
Ah bah oui, ça on en a déjà parlé.
Who gave you the right to decide the fate of thousands of people?
My money. My money and my pending immortality gives me the needed authority, Doctor. I'm a businessman. I'm used to tough decisions.
You really plan to build a quarantine wall across London?
Yes, it will be tall and strong, separating the wheat from the chaff.
By doing so, you will also create two separate prisons.
Come, sir. An eminent doctor like yourself knows that such radical measures have proved efficient in the past.
Ouais, je suis pas sûr. Hein.
Let me guess. You mean to isolate the rich from the poor?
This is a desperate measure for desperate times. England must prevail, Doctor, no matter the cost.
Quarantine is not a bad idea, medically speaking. but I'm convinced this epidemic will not be contained by mere walls.
As long as the right people are on the right side of the wall, that's all that matters.
But you can't guarantee infection will not spread. Just one contagious carrier would be enough to create an apocalypse.
The apocalypse is already knocking at the gate. We must be strong now.
C'est vraiment
What if a new
l'enculé.
outbreak happens inside your walls? You'll have created a giant trap.
That won't happen. As long as we dispose of anyone that is contaminated, as soon as they are spotted.
Ouais.
I've heard enough. It's time to proceed.
At last. All right, do what you have to do. If it isn't so late. I've been preparing such a long time for this.
Bon, on va faire ça. Hein.
You don't deserve immortality, Mr. Dawson.
What? What are you prattling on about?
I don't believe I've ever met a man so bereft of empathy. You, sir, are despicable.
No! Wait! You can't! I made a deal with Lord Redgrave. I'll finance whatever he wants. Please, just ask him.
Sleep now. Rest now. Forever.
I would have lived forever. Who are you to decide my fate? Who gave you the authority?
Voilà, c'est fait. Ah, ça, je sais où ça va. Troisième clé. Ah ouais, j'ai vraiment eu plein de clés en fait. Bon, c'est tout. Ouais, c'est tout. Du coup, faut que je retourne voir... Ah, non, il y a un truc là. C'est qui? Blablabla. Un mec a été pendu. Monsieur Sparrow comme check du coup. Apparemment, il a tué sa sœur. Blablabla. Bon, il était innocent apparemment. Ah, ok.
Reduced in rank for falsely accusing a man of murder. I wonder what Inspector Albright thinks about his punishment.
C'est l'inspecteur qu'on a croisé tout à l'heure. Lui. Ah. Et voilà notre chef.
Is it done, Dr. Reed? Is Aloysius Dawson reborn as expected?
Alas, Aloysius Dawson was not brought back to life after his death. The man is gone.
What? What happened?
Bon, on va lui dire ça.
He didn't survive the procedure. He was too weak.
This is unacceptable, nevertheless. You were given the simplest task.
Well, get rid of me then.
From now on, you're an outcast. Banished. You are forbidden to ever appear in front of us again. Ascalon will smite you on sight, and your heart will be thrown to the rats.
I'll leave you then. Have fun with your puppets and shadow plays, Lord Redgrave.
Yes, go, traitor, and take that awful creature, that counterfeit of a woman I saw waiting for you, and be gone!
Ok. Je peux pas lui reparler? En même temps...
Away, traitor. Return to your dubious friends at your decrepit hospital. Do not dare show yourself again.
Oui, oui, j'ai compris. Il était pas content. Hein. Bon, après, en même temps, lui, c'est une race inférieure de vampires. Qu'est-ce qu'elle fait là, elle?
We meet again at the strangest of times, young Ekon. So do you serve the Earl of Bristol now?
Old Bridget. What are you doing here?
Your friend, the wise Ekon. She sent me to warn you.
Did anyone see you? It's a long way from the dock sewers, and hunters are patrolling the streets here.
Who said I took the streets? How do you think I survived for centuries in this city without ever being seen? I know all her secrets.
How did you meet Lady Ashby?
Ah, c'est ce que je pensais, ouais, qu'elle avait été là-bas.
Just as you did.
What kind of answers did you give her?
I knew nothing of your maker, but we talked. We talked a lot. Her words and ideas are captivating. It is no surprise that you like her. I like her too.
Huh?
What kind of answers did you give her?
I knew nothing of your maker, but we talked. We talked a lot. Her words and ideas are captivating.
Lady Ashby in the sewers? Now that's a sight I wish I'd seen.
She said she was your friend, and that she sought the identity of your maker. So I answered her questions.
Okay.
Lady Ashby? You know her? Tell me what's going on.
The lady approached me but a few nights
Oui,
ago,
ça tu as déjà dit.
wanting to meet the sewer skulls. Once she questioned Harriet Jones. She agreed to help us.
Harriet Jones is still with you then? How is she doing?
Harriet remains angry, but is recovering slowly. Her mind is twisted, but at least her body is healing.
Tell me what is going on.
The lady asked us to keep an eye on your mortal doctor friend while you were away. We spotted the hunters. They were discussing plans to attack tonight.
Hein? Ils veulent attaquer quoi?
Wait, slow down. I need to ask you something.
I'm listening, but I do not have time to waste, so be quick.
Where is Lady Ashby right now?
She said she will go home. She needed to speak with some old friends first, though. Do not worry, young Ekon. She is no fool, and just as strong as you.
Okay.
Why do I feel like Lord Redgrave was particularly irritated to see you? Far more so than the average scout, if I may say.
Because I used to know him quite well. And he is afraid I may remember who he really is.
You're Elizabeth's informant. You're the
Wow.
one who told her about Lord Redgrave's lies regarding
Bravo,
his
Sherlock.
lineage.
Yes, but my words were not meant to hurt or threaten. I simply told the story of the sewer skulls, and of so many other forgotten children.
How did Elizabeth find you?
She presented herself humbly at our gate, and asked if we knew of any ancestral vampires hiding in London. She asked about Ascalon. She asked about many things.
What do you think of her?
Bah,
Her
qu'elle l'aime
soul
bien.
is good, yet tainted with a deep sadness, and the scars of ancient wounds. Time does that to us immortals, for we have so much to dwell upon.
Why did she come to you?
I am old Bridget, the buried memory of the city. She sought the silent truths, truths I have kept hidden for so long.
No time to lose, then. I must go there right away.
I shall return to my den. Have you a message for the lady? Should I see her before you?
On va lui dire ça.
Tell her I love her.
Is this still unknown to her? Go now and take care, young Ekon, for the flames are rising.
Ok.
You better go now to the Pembroke Hospital.
Bon allez, nous on va aller se reposer et s'arrêter ici. Ah oui, celle-là. Ok. Ça je peux toujours pas. Ça je peux le détruire. Pour l'instant, ça on va laisser comme ça. Ok. Alors. Celui-là, je l'ai monté au max. Ça, si, ça peut être utile, je pense. Voilà. Ok. Ah bah ça va. Bon, sur ce, moi je vais vous laisser. Du coup, je vous souhaite une bonne soirée. Je vous dis à la prochaine. Allez, à plus.